Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is GBall. Today we're taking a look at some of the best and some of my favorite EDC knives that come in under $50. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know what your EDC is for today. We're going to kick the video off with one of the all-time great knives under 50, actually under 30 in a lot of cases. This is the CJRB Acacia. This actually a couple of years ago won my budget knife of the year. At $30, we're looking at 3 1/4 inches of RPM 9, has a polished stonewash finish, but there are a couple versions with a PVD coating. We are looking at textured and semi-contoured FRN handles that are finished very nicely, a deep carry reversible clip, and it even has a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. Nice sharpening choil. The cutout works really good for the thumb and reverse flick. Hell, even the slow roll is very nice. The crossbar lock that CJRB does is fantastic. This even has a little ting here and there. I will have all these knives you see in today's video linked down below in the description. Any codes will be down there as well. Here we have a knife that I've featured many times. I bought this knife back in 2022, right around the holidays. I can see it on the Amazon screen there. This knife comes in about $48. It's called the SOG Terminus XR. It is going to come with their Cryo D2. It's got a beautiful stonewash finish, dual thumb studs, and a rear flipper for the deployment. This is actually one of the first flipper crossbar lock knives that was executed very, very well. A lot of companies struggled with a flipper crossbar lock knife, but SOG absolutely nailed it here. Their XR lock is done really well, and I absolutely love the tabs that they use here. We have textured G10 and a ultra deep carry clip that's left-hand friendly. A nice G10 backspacer sandwiched in between those steel liners. This is an excellent knife for 48 bucks, and sometimes throughout the year you can find these even a little less than that. I think I've seen them down closer to $40 in some cases, but do not overlook the SOG Terminus XR with the Cryo D2. They do an excellent job with it. This list is filled with a lot of high-value knives, in my opinion, but this one's going to be pretty hard to beat. This is called the Travisa Hummingbird. It's a fairly new release for them. We are looking at a price point of $46. After my discount code, though, it's actually closer to about $40. We have 3 inches of 14C28N, a nice bronze PVD finish, flipper tab for the deployment, and then we have the white G10 over top of the bronze steel liners, and then a nice subtle deep carry clip. We even have a lanyard post down here for the lanyard fans. This is an excellent little gentleman's flipper, great access to the liner there, and that clip is going to be reversible. Travisa is a true hidden gem when it comes to the knife world. They definitely don't get enough love, in my opinion. If you're enjoying this video and you like knives and EDC, double check and make sure you're subscribed here to the channel, because my analytics tell me that about 60% of you are actually not subscribed, and you probably don't know the difference, but down below the video there is a button you can click that will subscribe you to the channel. You can ring the bell, and that'll notify you anytime I release new videos, which I do every single day. So if you enjoy knives and EDC and this type of content, you'll be able to watch it every single day. Next, we have the Kizer Drop Bear here. This is a newer release for Kizer in the last couple of months, and this has been very, very popular. Not only because it's a drop bear model, but because this is one of the first times they use the button compression lock in the drop bear. This particular version has AEBL steel, which is a fine steel at this price point. These are just under $50. We have a nice double set of jimping here on the spine, dual thumb studs for the deployment, a deep carry reversible clip, a lanyard hole for the lanyard fans, an excellent detent, and the action is nice and smooth. You have a little recess there for the button, and the button is textured. Hardware is clean. For a budget knife, this is a very solid option, and they just recently put out the Drop Bear Zero, which is awesome. Really cool. I just released the video on that the other day, and those are selling like hotcakes. I think Kizer is completely sold out, and I know Blade HQ and Amazon are getting ate up for the new Zeros. Definitely worth going and checking out after this video. I'll leave a card for it right here. That way you can circle back around. Here we have the SRM Pal Fray, or the 135. Some of you may have seen this knife recently in a few various videos, and for very good reason. This is a fantastic EDC knife right here. They are about $37 full retail, but after my discount code, you'll find these closer to $30. The Pal Fray has 3.27 inches of 14C 28N, nice sharpening choil. They have a stone wash blade version and then 2 black wash blade versions for now. We have a top flipper and rear flipper for the deployment, and the detent is beautiful. This is on washers, so more of a harder use knife, if you want to call it that, because we have this light G10 textured show side, but we have a steel frame lock backside, so a little bit tougher on the back end with that frame lock, but we do have a little splash of G10 there around the pivot, a deep carry wire clip, and that is going to be left hand friendly. They even include a lanyard post there for the lanyard fans. Good access to the lock bar. They throw some jimping on there, but for $30, this is easily one of the best knives that you can get right now for about $30. Here is another really solid knife coming in under $30. They do have an Ultim one that's like $38, but the other like 5 or 6 are all under $30. This one is $28.99. This is called the Shoozies Hand 309, or the HAN 309. We are going to be looking at 2.6 inches of D2. They do a great job with it. They are quickly becoming well known for doing a good job with their D2 and 14C. We are looking at a satin finish. They do have several different variations. This is going to be kind of another budget gentleman's flipper. The detent is really, really nice. Closing action is nice and smooth. You do have good access to the liner with a chamfer. And then micarta, I think they did G10. We have a wire pocket clip that is going to be right-hand carry only. Probably the only knock on this knife. You have a matching backspacer with a lanyard hole. But for $28, I'm not going to be mad at it. This right here is called the Alloit's Lemon Shark, or the GO71. These are about $45 full retail. We have 10CR15 MOV here, about 3.27 inches. We have dual thumb studs and a front flipper for the deployment. This is a really nice design. 10CR is a fine steel, especially at this price point, equivalent to something like VG10, which is a very good steel. Comparable, compatible, and just like 154CM, they all, I believe, have a place, certainly at the $45 price point. Beautiful micarta here, a nice clean show side blade. They have their little logo there on the pivot, which is just fine. I could do without the Alloit's on the clip there, but this is a really nice clip, much like a Vastid clip. A matching backspacer with a lanyard post. We have left-hand friendly carry. So all the little bells and whistles that you would want. Even have that lanyard post there. Great access to the liner with a chamfer. The detent is beautiful. If I didn't know any better, I would say Vastid is the OEM for Alloit's. Them or Kizer or both. Excellent thumb studs, stepped beautifully. There's like 4 steps on there. They're comfortable. You could fidget and mess with this all day long. The front flipper is done really well. And we have a nice little sharpening choil. A great knife for about $40. So I couldn't just do 10 knives. I wanted to put a couple of extras in there. So before we get to the last couple, I wanted to put out a couple of honorable mentions. And this is one coming in from SRM. It is called the Air, or the 105, and for good reason. It is very lightweight. These are going to be had for about $30 after the discount code. I think you can get them on Amazon for about the same price. A really nice minimal rear flipper here, little under 3 inches of 14C28N, a really nice sharpening choil. SRM has some of the best edges out of the box, textured G10, and then a nice deep carry right hand only pocket clip. It is recessed. Typically SRM does left hand friendly very well. 90% or more of their models are usually ambidextrous. This is one of the few, but at $28, $29, I'm not mad at it. I do, however, wish I had it, but this is going to be really hard to beat. I mean, you could put this in your pocket and you would not know it is there. The detent is really nice, even if you lollygag it. If you give it the gas, it has a beautiful detent, and this one is breaking in nicely, except for that first 5%, but after it breaks, it is really smooth. This is a fantastic knife for under 30 bucks. This knife right here has been a fan favorite for a long time. Some of you may have seen this knife a couple of times or many times, but we have to also keep in mind, and that's why I love doing these videos throughout the years, just because there's so many new people that come into the community every day, every week, and every month. It grows just substantially every month. So a lot of people aren't aware of some of these older knives, don't get to see them. Sure, there might be videos on them that are older, but you're not really getting to see like up-to-date videos on them, right? So I like to bring stuff like this back around. And the other thing I will add to this video is, of course, I'm not going to have every single knife that's under 50 bucks on this list. This is just for fun, just to get some knives out there in front of you guys. However, if you have some suggestions or ideas on knives that are under 50 bucks, feel free to put as many of them down in the comments as you want. That gives me ideas for future videos, and it lets other people know who are watching this that there are even more knives out there, right? Maybe something somebody has never seen before. So do that. Leave some comments. Let us know some of your favorite knives under 50 bucks. Of course, I know there's many others out there other than the ones we're showing in today's video. So the Petrified Fish Victor here. This is a phenomenal knife right here for about 46 bucks. And you can get a more premium version with aluminum and 154 cm. Those are typically just under 100 bucks for the specially coated one. And then I think you can pick them up around 70 for the regular aluminum. But in this version here, we're going to be looking at Bowler K110, a beautiful black wash clip point blade. These come in a ton of different flavors. Stonewash, black wash, I believe even satin, all kinds of different micartas. This one is a green one, obviously. We do have a rear flipper and a cutout for a reverse flick for a righty, or it'll be a thumb flick for a lefty. Beautiful detent though. Petrified Fish is another one of them hidden gem companies. They are just a sleeper that they don't put out a ton of knives, but even really if they did, they just don't get a ton of play, and they certainly deserve it. They put out some awesome knives, and I know a lot of you guys out there have various knives. There's one I'm looking at getting here very soon, a crossbar lock called the Viper. I really want to check that one out. We do have great access to the liner here with a chamfer, and then a really well done deep carry clip, and that is going to be left hand friendly. We even have a lanyard hole there, a nice mid-length, even maybe a little more, micarta backspacer. This is comfortable. It works really well. I've had this knife for years years and years. I bought this knife many years ago, and it's an awesome knife. And I mean, it's great. Petrified fish, the Victor, not much more needs to be said. Next, we have another one coming in from CJRB. This is called the Bolt right here, and I really like this knife. There was a time you could pick up a micarta, an S90V variant for like 90 bucks, contoured micarta. I believe those are sold out at this current point in time, but I'm sure they will be back. But for now, for under 50 bucks, you can pick up this version here, and we're going to be looking at $49.99. We have a 3 1/4 inch AR-RPM 9 blade. This one has a PVD coating. We do have dual thumb studs for the deployment. Nice little sharpening choil there. I really like the recoil V2 lock. It's a crossbar and fin lock combo. They nailed this. For the innovation into this mechanism, I would say they absolutely nailed it. Some people are over crossbar locks. Well, that's just fine. I still enjoy them when they're done well. I mean, this thing is fidgety as all hell, guys. The double tap, I'm working on getting the handling down with that. It's a much bigger knife. You should have seen the unboxing for that the other day. But this recoil V2 lock, if you like to get your fidget on, man. And not only that, not only is it fidgety as all hell, but it will do knife things. It has a nice thin blade stock. It comes down under 20 thousandths behind the edge. So it's a slicey boy. It's like 9CR on steroids, or maybe, call it like a 10CR if you want. So it's not anything super, but for under 50 bucks, RPM 9, I like it. I like it, all right? It's different. It's not 14C, Nitro V, D2. It's its own thing, and I like it. So, and I think they're getting their stuff in very good order with I think the RPM 9, it's the best that it's ever been, right? The most refined, and they're working on the SF2. They already have it out and been getting good results comparable to something like 154 CM. So they're doing some cool things over at Artisan and CJRB, and they're still kicking ass with S35 and S90V on varying knives. This knife here is going to have textured G10 handles. They're deep carry, reversible clip, and we have a lanyard hole there, recessed steel liners, and like I said, I love the recoil lock, the recoil V2 lock. This thing is fun. It's durable. It's a crossbar lock, so it's going to be dependable for you, jimping up the spine. Like I said, I'll give you a little sneak peek. If you didn't see the unboxing for this monster right here, the new double tap, highly recommend going and checking out the unboxing for this. This knife is awesome. I think they're like 70 bucks. I don't have that up in front of me, but one hell of a chunk of D2, G10, just a monster. The recoil V2 lock, really like what CJRB and Artisan have done over the last year or two. So we got two left, and they could really go in any order, but might as well, we'll do it this way. We have the Migaron Voluona M here. Obviously, if you've been around a little while, you know, or you will know, that Migaron has some of the best budget knives in the entire game. Go look at some of my older videos from a year or two ago. I was raving about Migaron before people were raving about Migaron. All right. I've been buying their knives for years. So I have known for quite a while that they have awesome budget knives, and the Migaron Voluona, I would say, is one of the icons for Migaron. Under 50 bucks, we are looking at 3.5 inches of 14C 28N. We have a crown spine, a fuller, and a rear flipper for the deployment. For a liner lock, this thing is fidgety as all hell. It's going to cut well for you. The detent is beautiful on this knife, and I've had several of these, and I've had several of the large ones as well. They make a little bit bigger one with a like 3.8 inch blade or 3.75 inch blade, and it's a monster of a knife, and I think they're really close, like 55 bucks. So that would be another option if you like a little bit larger folder. But for the casual knife person, I think this is going to be a great size. 3.5 inches of total blade. You can pick them up in micarta and G10, steel liners, G10 backspacer. You also get the cherry on top. This is $48, remember. And you get a milled titanium clip with this bad boy that is left-hand friendly. Great access to that liner there. I would love to see this knife. I mean, the liner lock is excellent, but it would be cool. I don't know if it'd be possible, but to do this with a button liner lock of some kind or something, if it could be done. But you can thumb flick this, reverse flick it, and light switch it, push button it, whatever your little heart desires you can do. You can even choke up there behind the edge a little tiny bit. You know, if you really needed some control over this, you wouldn't want to really choke up behind it, but you know, that's more of a sharpening choil that you could use for like a fingertip. But really solid knife from Migaron. If you don't know about Migaron, I would definitely get informed about them by going and checking out my videos. You type in GBall Vision, this knife or that knife, it's probably going to pop up, probably. But, you know, especially Migaron, you can find tons of Migaron content on the channel. Also, Remet has had a recent, just amazing budget knife release. Like I said, the Voluona could have been ahead of this, but this knife's going to come in on sale on Amazon. I don't think you can get it on their website. About $33 after the sale. That is cool as hell from Remet, because this is going to be a button liner lock with access to the liner. So you got multiple ways to disengage this bad boy. You are looking at D2, which Remet has been using for years and years. They do a good job with it. Modified sheep split blade, little sharpening choil, 50-50 area there. The cutout works well. Rear flipper is nice. The detent on these are becoming notoriously strong. They are strong, but I tend to like a little stronger detent because all the deployments in this case, they feel well attended to, I should say. Nothing feels looked over. So that little bit stronger detent helps with the cutout and the rear flipper. This would be another knife that will do the job of a cutting tool, but will also do the job of a fidget very well. Sculpted and textured G10, a deep carry clip that's left-hand friendly. We even have a lanyard post down here for the lanyard fans. So here again, all the little bells and whistles your little heart could desire. The next thing I think that Remet is probably going to put in the works is another version of this knife that's a step above. And then I think they're going to make a premium one as well, because it has been very popular. There's several different versions that you can choose from. I'll have links to all these knives down in the description. If you use those links, it does help support what I do here, and I appreciate it, but that is entirely up to you. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite knife was from today's video. If you have any other knives coming in under $50 that you would like to put down in the comments, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe for more dope knife and EDC content. I'll pop up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.